What's going on, everybody? We are back on site, and I got a bonus video for you guys. This is a bonus shop video. As I tell y'all, I read the comments, and I got tons of great ideas of things I should change already on this shop build, especially with the outside lawnmower shed. So I listened, and I did. Check it out. Things I did want to address is that everyone was asking me, Jay, why didn't you bring it to the end of the garage? And this is the reason why. Sorry, let me come around here. As you can see, here's the back of my garage, and the way that this rock wall is formed there's no way I could have made it all the way to the back. Plus, this big butt tree is in my way. And also, I wanted to be able to make sure, even though it's tight, I wanted to make sure that I could walk back here and get to where I'm going. So that was the reason why I didn't take it all the way to the back. And the reason why I didn't take it all the way to the front is just that it's not much, but it would have just protruded out a little bit farther. And with the way the overhangs and everything would have worked, it might have looked a little bit weird trying to make it perfect to the front. So that's why I just set it back a little bit. And this is plenty big enough to where it is. With that being said, I did paint it black thinking that it would just kind of disappear, but it doesn't. It actually sticks out even more than I thought. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint it. Wasn't bad at all, really. That was gonna be worse, but I knocked that set out pretty quick. But the only thing is I don't know if I like it or not. And really, the only one that really matters if they like it or not is Stephanie, and she's at work. So I don't know, maybe I could take a picture of it and send to her. But I'm just gonna walk back here like nonchalantly, like doo-doo-doo. What would it look like? Oh, I think it looks pretty good, man. I actually kind of like it. Now, it doesn't look like the paint matches exactly, but so I have to try to match this vinyl. And I don't know if anyone saw the greenhouse. I tried to match it with that, with the plywood I put in the back of it, but I just took a picture of it. It did not work well. And I'm just looking here, and I'm seeing that that's cracked right there. I wonder if I just took my blade and I took a nice cut there. If they could do that. If I just took my blade and made a nice straight cut there, kind of clean it up a little bit, make it look better, I might be able to use that to get a match. Let's see if I can do that. Let's try it. Be a little bit beigeier. I can't tell, but I took a piece of that siding and I got it matched at Lowe's. So, I mean, I don't know what else to do than this. I mean, that's as close as I can get. I feel like Danielson from Karate Kid. Even boards with my right hand, odd boards with my left hand. I'll tell you what, my freaking shoulders, I don't know. I've been going to the gym and did some shoulders last night. I can barely even hold my arm up like that. It is killing me, but you know what? What are you gonna do? Who else is gonna do it? Ray, Jano, J-Mo, Eric. Nope. Looks like it's just me and my nemesis, paint. I also moved this thing around the corner. Somebody was right. I had on the outside like a DA, and all the water off the roof was coming down and pouring right on it. So I put it over here. And of course, like one of the last boards, two of them, I freaking slip around the corner and get paint there. So I'll have to let that dry and then touch up with the black. But I think it looks great. And I think as it's drying darker. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk away from it like this. And I'm gonna walk out like I'm coming in from the garage or from the driveway. And then I'm gonna turn around and we're gonna look at it together and see what we think and to see if it looks better or if it looks worse. All right, here we go. On a count of three. 1, 2, 3. I think it looks pretty good, man. I think it looks sweet. That's it for today because I am taking my wife to Florida for our anniversary. It's our 19th year anniversary. 19 years of marital bliss, Stephanie and I. Can you keep it down over there? And I am taking her to Florida, and this is gonna be the real test if my kids watch my channel, because we are not telling them. We're gonna come back Sunday afternoon and see if they notice that we're tan or not, and see if they have any idea ever that we went to Florida. So we'll let you know if they ever find out. Come on, let's go. 2:57. Nice work.
Wait, don't put that on film. That's
Why?
3 minutes early.
Nobody watches a channel in that place. All right, here we go. Florida, here we come. Peace. Some of you may or may not know that I used to sell real estate. And the one thing I hated about selling real estate was being at a desk. I always told myself I'm never going to be a desk guy. It's not my thing. And then what happens? I get into YouTube and I find myself at a desk, editing videos, doing ads, checking emails. So when FlexiSpot came to me and said, hey, we'd like you to do an ad for a stand-up desk, I was like, yep, I'm all in. So let's talk about why a standing desk. Fact one is I hate to sit down. So our bodies were made to move around, to stand up. So sitting for an extended period of time can put a lot of strain on your joints that can cause herniated disc, chronic back pain, and other similar items. And this is where FlexiSpot comes in. FlexiSpot provides all kinds of standing desks to meet your demands. If you want a premium standing desk for your daily use, you can check out their E7 and E7 Pro C frames. Hey, if you're on a limited budget, check out their E5 model. You can unlock even more savings by using my exclusive promo code or click the FlexiSpot link in the description. So this FlexiSpot desk is awesome with a lot of cool features. One thing I really like is the height memory function. You can actually preset 4 different heights in there that you may use on a daily basis, from sitting to standing and 2 in between. This table is super durable and sturdy. It actually comes with adjusting feet, so if your floor is not level, at least your table is. And the motor in this thing is super crazy. It'll actually lift up to 355 pounds. I think I could probably jack my truck up and change the tires with this thing. It's awesome. So don't miss out on the FlexiSpot President's Day flash sale. Use my exclusive code JAYSWAY to receive $30 off on the E7 and E7 Pro series. And for the new arrival E7 Plus, use JAYSWAY to receive an extra $50 off. Hey, as always, I'd like to thank FlexiSpot for sponsoring today's video. Couldn't do it without you. Let's get back to some work. We're getting back at this bonus clip here, garage detail. And next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna put a gutter up here. And I say we, I don't know why, I guess maybe Charlie and I, but I'm gonna put a gutter up. And I'll tell you right now, and this is no joke, this is my first time ever putting up gutters. I've never put up a gutter before. I've never worked with anybody putting up gutters before. So we could be in for a little bit of a ride here. So hey, let's jump on board and come with me and let's get this thing put up. So I have enough clips to go every 2 feet. So I'm gonna be at my 4-foot mark because again, I'm doing this by myself. So I think what I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna try to just get this where it needs to go. Okay, and then I'm gonna hold this up here like so. Now this is gonna go down like that. And now I want it to be a little bit long there. I don't know how long, just because I want to make sure that it rolls off the roof. Maybe something like that would work. Now I'm up super tight there. I do have to get a clip in there, and then I need to be down on that end a little bit. That probably looks good. That probably looks good. I'm gonna hit this right here. See what happens. Okay, let's put a level inside of it and see what's going on. All right, she's pitching. Not tons, but pitching enough. It's inside the line there. So it's outside the line there. So I think that's enough. So let me get one down towards the end there. Hopefully I can still get it in there. Let's see how far past I am. Yeah, I think that's good. I'm here. Rain coming down there I think is good. So let's stick this in here. I think that's good. Hold it up tight there, and I'm going downhill there. There we go. Okay, let's go down that way a little bit and we'll put in another one. Now what I need to do is we need to pull a measurement from here. I was about 3 1/4 past the fascia down there. So I'll just hook on my fascia here and I'll, come on. Hook on my fascia there. And I got 107/8. 107/8. So I'll just add 3 1/4 to that and I'll cut that other one. 107/8. So I'm wondering if I can cut this thing with this chop saw. It's just aluminum. We cut aluminum at the shop, at the job all the time. This is probably a really bad idea, but I'm gonna give it a little bit of a whirl here and just see what happens. Okay, so I think if I go super slow, I can do it, no problem. So again, 107/8 plus 3 1/4. I'm gonna make a mark and I'm gonna cut this thing flush, nice and neat, so I can put the end cap on. Now that we have this cut, what it says to do, it says to butt this end to that end, and then we're gonna use this piece here that kind of goes over it and makes a seam and covers the seam. And then it says to put this seam mate whatever on it. Yeah, whatever, dude. We don't use seam mate. You know what we use. Lexel. I'm gonna put this one up, butt it tight, hang it, make sure it's pitching, and then get the seam done and get some Lexel on it. I got this seam put in, and as you can see, it looks all right, I guess. I mean, these are not top of the line gutters by any means. So, but what I did here too is it says to fold that flap over. So I'm just gonna put this hanger, I guess, right in that seam if I can. Hammer drill, come on, get down in there. There we go. That way it'll hold that seam together nice. And then again, what I'll just do is I'll just put a bunch of Lexel in there to seal it all up nice. This one in right here. As you can see, I'm trying to just make sure it looks straight. It kind of flares out there at the end a little bit. Maybe I'll hit that one just a little bit tighter. Try to keep it. I mean, no one's ever gonna see it, but you know, it would be nice if it looked somewhat straight. That's pretty good. This does flare out a little bit at the end, but again, these things are not perfect, so hopefully I can get my level out of here. And actually what I did here at the end is this last 2 feet or so, I actually kind of leveled it out and almost made it pitch back just a little bit. I'm thinking, because the downspout's gonna go here. If I have it pitching all there, there's gonna be a bunch of water holding in down here. So here it's running, and here it back pitches this way a little bit. So I'm hoping it'll kind of just funnel right to where my downspout's gonna go. And with that being said, I just realized that I did not cut the hole for the downspout, which means I'm gonna have to do it in place. Whatever, so that's this piece here. So what I'll do is I'll just trace this where it's gonna go, and I can probably just eyeball kind of where I'm gonna have it. So let's see, it's gonna be just on probably just about where that joint's at, or where that, so probably somewhere right in here is where it's gonna be. And just kind of center it up in the thing like that, and then just trace it. Alright, so that's what I need to cut out. I guess I'll just get a jigsaw and cut it out. All right, so the cut's probably not perfect because, like you can see, I was not able to get the jigsaw up in there, but let's see how a shoe fits here. All right, I think I can get to go. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to put Lexel around this, maybe some in there. I'm just gonna squash it down on there. And I think that will get it good. I don't think I'm supposed to screw this in. It shows screw holes, but I mean, it doesn't make any sense. This thing's so tight now, I'm just gonna jam it down in there tight with the Lexel, and then the downspout then will go up, or the 90s will go in there, and then the downspout will just go down. So I think that's probably good. Don't move. I got this just these little kind of self-tapping sheet metal screws that I'm using. So I just realized that I had this in wrong. I had the small end there with the big end this way, and it needs to be the other way. It needs to go this way, because obviously all the things coming down from the top need to go inside the next one. Doesn't have to be tight or sealed up, but because that way the water runs down this way. If it's over the top, the water will run the wrong way. So this needs to go like that. Okay. Lexel's getting everywhere. Oh, this is the old piece. That's the old piece. It doesn't matter. Anyway, so I was going to put this last piece of downspout in, and all I have left is 2 big ends. So that doesn't work because that will let the water run. Again, this is just some rainwater. It's not that it makes a huge difference, but so what I think I'm gonna do is I need to get this to go inside this. So I believe they make a crimping tool that does, oh gosh, I just spilt all the screws. There we go. Boom, beautiful. Next, I had to put these end caps on, and I don't even know what they recommend to put them on with. But again, I'm just going to use some Lexel. I'm just putting it inside the track there, and I'm just going to stick it on the end. So that keeps wanting to come off. I might get a clamp and just put a clamp on there just to keep it good. Let me do that real fast. Okay, I think that's pretty good. And what I'll do is I'll just wait till that hardens up and I'll come back in with another bead of Lexo and just suck that side in there. So let me do the middle seam and do the end cap as well with the Lexel. It's like caulking a window. Except I can't really get my finger down in there. I don't think I need to beat it. I think that's good. Let me go do the other side. It's getting crazy in here. Okay, next. Next is I have this big 20-foot sheet of, I have this big 20-foot sheet of aluminum that I use for the pole barn. If you haven't seen that video, that was an awesome series that Jones and I did. Go back and check that out. I'll put a link in the description for you to go check out the whole pole barn build. But I got this leftover material from Georgia Metals, and I'm thinking I want to build like a little like cover back here. Again, I got Nana's bike and my old bike. This stuff's like 2 foot wide, so I'm thinking something like this, 2 foot, will be a little, kind of like a little rain shield. And then also I can store some material back here. Other material that I don't have inside that maybe I want to keep a little bit dry or keep off, so I can build a couple shelves to keep some extra material. But I want to be able to make sure I can walk through it. It doesn't need a big pitch. I mean, obviously something like that would probably be good, just because it just needs to not backflow into the shed. And then I also need to make sure, that when I have a brace on here, that the brace doesn't interfere. But probably something like that, just a small little brace like that, a couple of those would be good. The structure is 14 feet long, so I made my tin just short of that because I didn't want it to proud out past the edge of the building. The plan was to just use a pressure treated 2x4 as like a ledger board up against the shed that I could screw the metal to. I think that was going to be good. Just something sturdy to hold the back of the metal down, and then I'll put some type of bracing to hold the metal at the right angle. So my brilliant plan was just to use 2x4s and make like a roof joist system. So I just cut them at about like 2 foot long, and I put an angle on them. I think I picked just like 10 degrees, put a 10-degree angle on both sides of the board, and then I just put them up on my ledger board there, 2 foot on center, and that was going to be the platform which the metal would sit on. So these were coming along really nice. I think the idea is perfect, except for this. Meow. I wish I was making this up, but I'm not. So I told myself 21 1/4 long to short. but for some stupid reason, the first one I cut was 21 1/4 long to long. So now these ends are all backwards. They should be going the other way. So I need to cut all these off. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to shorten them up. I'm just gonna make that the long point and then cut them up just so I don't waste material. So it won't go all the way out to the end of the material. It might miss by an inch or so, but again, you know what, just say it, you know what it is. So all right, I'm gonna take these off, cut them, and put them back up. That looks a lot better. So yeah, now I'm just gonna put that metal up on there. And one thing I do need to do is I need to make sure that when I'm putting these on, one thing I do need to make sure when I'm putting these on is that they're squared up to the house, to the structure. So I'll put the metal on, I'll get it tacked in the back first, and then I'll go back and put my square in these and make sure they're squared up, and then I'll put some screws through the top in there. I think I still have some screws with the washers on it that I used for the roof on the pole barn. So let me find those and see if I can get this piece up. All right, dug through that and found these. That'll probably be enough, but these are self-tappers and they got the washer on it to seal that metal up. So I'll use those. I don't know if anyone's noticed or not, but the one thing I hate the most is buying screws. They're so expensive, so I try to use whatever I have just laying around or whatever I can steal from Jamie and Eric. So I think those will work. Let's get this metal up. I'm ready to put this thing up, and it's big. It's 14 feet long, and I'm afraid I'm not going to get up there by myself. And if I do, I don't know if I'm going to be able to hold it there by myself. So again, all the guys, you know, they're all working. They got stuff going on, busy lives. So the next best thing. Nana! Nana's going to help me put this thing up there. She's got tons of muscles, so she's going to come over here and she's going to help me hold this thing up. Pro tip time. The time lapses work way better when you actually hit the little red button that makes it start. So I didn't time lapse that, but hey, here it is. And I think it's pretty falling. Look at that little shed roof type thing. Now I was gonna put some kickers on this, but to be honest with you, I don't think I need to. I mean, this is gonna have zero weight on it. It's just to keep rain off of maybe the bikes a little bit. And I'm going to put some shelves up here, kind of the same thing I did in the house or in the garage. I'm going to put some brackets up, so I can put some lumber. Like I got all this excess kind of crap out here, this kind of wood that I used for the braces when I was building this thing. And just a bunch of junk that I don't want just getting soaking wet. I can maybe use it someday. So I'm going to get it up off the ground and dry it out. So I think I did 1, 2, 3 braces right there, about that height, and that will give me a spot to put some of that lumber. Can't forget to hang this bad boy back up. What's going on, guys? It is freaking nasty outside. I don't know if you can see, but dude, it is pouring, and it has been pouring for like hours and hours and hours, like all night long. Big concern was the rain. You know, I put this paneling up on the one side to keep the material from getting wet, and everybody was, you know, kind of saying how they think it's gonna not be enough. I should put on all sides. So just kind of wanted to come out here and show everybody. I didn't know what to expect, and I'm looking. So this is the front. You can see there's a little bit of water on the back side of that, especially on the bottom. As far as up here goes, everything looks dry, even on this back side. Everything's actually super dry on this back wall. And remember, I do have a 12-inch overhang up there on the outside. As far as the roof goes, Everything looks good. There actually is a small little, I'm not gonna lie, there's a small little leak. Looks like coming right there. So I showed you downstairs, it was leaking a little bit. And I don't know where, man. I mean, I don't know where it would leak from. I mean, everything looks super good. I mean, the only spot I can see that's really drastic here in the center is maybe this spot right here, but you know, but I don't know. Well, I do have some Lexel here, so I'm just gonna pump some Lexel up in this hole right here on both sides of this one. I don't know if that was it or not, but that's the only place I can see where it would be leaking. I think this is how the roofers do it. 100%. My local roofer guy told me just do this, just Lexel all the seams, and they'll be perfect. All right, so the shed's about maybe a month or so old, and I've been noticing two things. See a pattern going already. Pattern one is Nana is now just putting all of her rakes and stuff right inside there, which is kind of in the way and kind of a mess. So we're gonna need to fix that, and I think I know how. Another thing is this, is that she's got her battery plugged in for her, what is that thing, hedge clipper or something? And it's just sitting on top of my outlet. But you know what's right here is kind of a nice open spot. So what I'll do is let's build a little shelf there for Nana to keep her battery on. And I think also she's going to plug in her battery for, she's got her Cobalt weed eater. Now again, I have all this gas powered stuff, but she doesn't like to use the gas powered stuff. She likes to use batteries because it's easier, which I can totally understand. She doesn't have to worry about starting it. So let's build a little shelf over there for her batteries, and let's figure out something to do with that. Well, in looking at this, I'm gonna shut the garage door to get a little more light over here. Because remember, when I put these lights up, I wasn't gonna have the garage door, but now I have this whole big old light right there. Perfect. Sweet. All right, so in looking at this, I have these two blocks here that I had to put in, to put that box in there and to put the garage door opener on. And I'm thinking I can just frickin' do that. Now, so that'll go there. And then I'll get her other charger, her Cobalt charger. I'll put it out here, plug it in, and that way she'll have two chargers kicking at all times. Voila! So that is gonna fix Nana's shovel problem. If anybody saw when I redid the shed there, I got a little hack here on TikTok or something like that. What you do is you take these and you put them up like this, screw it to the wall, and then you take your shovels and things and you put them inside of it. So it did rain last night, and I've been wanting to test out my gutter. So what I want to do is I want to see if there's any water holding in it. Let's come take a look and see what's going on. All right, so she looks pretty good. It's all drained down to the end. Okay. So he did such a good job spreading all this, I don't really want to take it away. So I threw a little bit up here, taking my level here. And again, I just want to make sure that as the water comes off here, that it's not going back towards there, or not puddling up here. So put my level on there. So I'm pitching down, so that's good. Just kind of use it like a screed. There, I'm still pitching good. There, I'm still pitching good. So I think that's good.